When markets move, Stephen E. Orr takes the chair. From the White House to Wall Street, he's spent decades at the intersection of policy, markets, and real capital. And he's seen firsthand how institutions use data behind closed doors. Now, as founder of Quasar Markets, his mission is to pull those signals into the open so everyone can see what really moves the markets. This is Stephen E. Orr, BigBeat on Wall Street. Let's filter the future live.
Good morning, Quasar Markets Live. Happy FOMC Day. BigBeat. We're here in Vegas at the Prosper event. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good, man. So for all of us that celebrate FOMC Day, look, I get it. I think the world is really watching Powell today and trying to understand exactly what he's trying to say. Look, I don't think it matters what he says. I think it matters all about what the questions are going to be asked to him. And I think today is going to be a whole lot different because it's not going to be based on easy questions today. I don't think there's going to be an easy question in this. I think it's going to be a hard question. Why? Because this is the last time that he speaks before next year. And I don't think he's going to have a job next year. So he's got a very big deal today, and I think he comes sweating bullets today. So this is going to be a big question mark for him today.
So wait. We got to back up there a second. So you think in the next 25 days or 20 days, it's the 10th, I guess, so 21 days, that we're going to see Mr. Hassett get announced and put into place?
You know, it's a very interesting question, Mark. He could be put into place as a board governor and then made the chair of the board very easily because he might want to replace somebody else. But I don't think that's going to happen just yet. But he knows he's out. Look, he's not out until March or whatever. So I don't really too care. To be honest with you, the Fed is already swinging to being political, and we're very close to that now. But I don't see us not cutting rates all the way through to March at least. So rates are going to come down pretty fast here.
Now, Steve, you looking for an update today, or do you think this is already all baked in?
Oh no, it's already baked in. This thing's been baked in like a grandma's apple pie on Christmas Day, right? Look, there's nothing here that we don't need to understand and know. But I do think that the market is keeping their eye on a few pieces of news today. Obviously, Warner Brothers will talk about that. But it's FOMC Day, and the world will stop. There'll be some volatility, probably, obviously around 12:31. But that is what it is.
Yep. With that being said, Warner Brothers Discovery and what's going on there, have you looked at all? It's not really apples to apples from what I was looking at when it comes to the bids. It's not that simple to see what the best deal is because Netflix is only looking to acquire HBO Max and Warner Brothers, whereas Paramount is also taking CNN, Discovery, and HGTV, a few others. Is that clouded for shareholders that are going to have to make this decision down the road?
I don't think anybody cares. I think it's all about what the president thinks. I mean, he's already said that he doesn't like the Warner Brothers Netflix deal. So he's going to instruct his FCC and FTC and SEC and you name the three different letters, and they're all going to be against it. And then that's the case. But what are you going to say antitrust? And really, Netflix doesn't even, when you look at it from the perspective of Netflix, they don't even want half of what Warner Brothers has, the TV streaming. Paramount does. So the antitrust should be on the side of Paramount, other than Netflix. So I don't know. Honestly, I'm still low on Netflix for that very reason, right? I don't think Netflix is going to get the deal, and I think Netflix stock's going to pop right back up.
Nice. There you go. Well, so far we got a fairly muted day on tap. We see S&P down slightly, Q's up slightly, Dow's up slightly, gold down a little bit. Steve, I wasn't here to talk to you. Silver, man, I think you jumped the gun there.
What else is new about me selling too early, right? It is what it is. Look, I get it. We're seeing silver. I did the same thing with Bitcoin at 19,500 back in the day, right? It was too soon, and then guess what? It sold off. So the thesis, there's too much at this point. I think there's too much chasing going on in silver now, right? The gold silver ratio has now that big wide space swath that we saw is no longer there now. It's now come down to normal in the 70s now. And to me, this is a way over out of his skis now. We need to pull back here, probably into the 38, 39 to 40 handle. And then I'll get back in.
Right.
But I think it's too far. And just look, I said Palantir, too far. NVIDIA, too far. Microsoft too far, Google, and all of them were right? And just because they're chasing it and it's going higher, ooh, it's going higher, it's going higher. Well, that's great, and it's great for those. But good luck selling it, right? I'm going to tell you right now. Try to go to a gold silver dealer right now and try to sell your gold to them. They're not going to buy it. Try to sell your silver to them. They're not going to buy it right now. They're not buying because they know that it's too high now too as well. So I had to pressure my silver dealer to
They are
buy
in
mine.
Vegas. I saw all the signs.
Yes,
You
that
can
is
sell
true.
all
Yes.
your gold here in a matter of seconds. In fact, I think they'll take it as collateral at the casino. Speaking of taking collateral at the casino, Steve, CFTC acting commissioner FAM announced that crypto is now going to be accepted as collateral on CFTC regulated exchanges. So all the futures exchange, you'll now be able to use your crypto as collateral. Does that change the game for you?
Gives me a lot more margin money. uh,
For me, it's a big deal. I think
ah,
it's under the surface. People don't realize that a lot of people sell their Bitcoin first traders because they have to top off margin on their accounts. And now being able to do it means they don't have to make a sellable event anymore, right?
I don't like it at all. I think it's very bad. I think we're getting into a very gambling mentality right now. But it allows people to not have to sell their Bitcoin in order to have their margins. So I understand that. Look, most margin comes from banks anyway, right? So that's the question mark that I have to have. Will banks start accepting it too, not just the exchanges? And I don't know the answer to that question yet. I know that what the Trump administration is going to say, yes, let's do that, right? But mixing Bitcoin and all of the local banks makes me a little bit nervous. It's a little too much for me. My blood.
Yeah, it is a little different. I don't think it adds any casino to it. The thing will be interesting that folks won't realize is it does cause liquidation fear or liquidation risk as Bitcoin's price drops down. And if you're in a trade that's on the wrong side and both of them moving together, what we used to see was a lot of liquidations back before crypto really moved to stable coins as their settlement. So it's going to bring a little bit more complexity into the markets, in my opinion. So it'll be
And
interesting.
I got a bone to pick with you, Howard. I mean, yesterday you guys were selling Bitcoin at the top there, so well done.
Yeah, we did short it yesterday here at about 94 and a half. We were out of that trade pretty quickly, got out at 91, 900 or
Wow.
so. Yeah, you got to play both sides of it, and it's just
Yeah.
overextended. That run yesterday was beautiful, but like you just said, it was well overextended. It passed all the Saudi bands and the ATR bands, and it kept
Yeah.
going. So we just look for it to pull back to those levels. It did. It nicely held though here. So
Good.
feeling pretty good. Inflection day today. We got to see if we're up or down. It's going to matter.
I mean, I was hearing there's like $1.8 billion in shorts at 95,000. Is that right?
That I don't know. I haven't been looking. There's not really a big expiry in for another couple of weeks. We
Okay.
just had a huge one, so I haven't really looked at the current setup. I mean, it's still a very, very, very long based on traders on the futures again. The perpetual
Yeah.
futures is still
And, I,
2,
and
3,
speaking
4
speaking
to
of
1.
shorts, there's 160 million that has to cover in 2 days here on Netflix. So I expect a little short covering
Okay.
here.
I actually
Yeah.
saw a lot where the options flow for the SPX is also showing some pretty dynamic, things going into the end of the year from 5,000 to 8,000. I mean, where the numbers are just crazy.
8,000 ain't happening, but okay.
Yeah. Well, we know those are hedge and directional plays, but the difference is that it does move those needles, right? It makes the range a little bit wider because there's no
It does.
reason, that the gamma hedge doesn't have to come into play.
But it does tell you that the Santa Claus rally is coming, right? It tells you that time between the first trading day after Christmas to the first week of January that we're going to have a Santa Claus rally. I mean, it's going to happen this year. There's so much money on the sideline, and there's so much going on that on the short side going into the close of the year that we're going to have window dressing all the way through, and I think we're going to have a massive Santa Claus rally coming up pretty soon.
Wow, I love it. I love it. Steve, looking at the Mag 7, we see NVIDIA down slightly here, down about 30 basis points. Apple down 25 basis points. Microsoft pretty flat on the day. Google up 1%. Amazon up a half a point. Steve, your Tesla back at 445. Are you starting to get ready to fade the Musk here?
You know, you always say don't fade the Musk, but you're absolutely right. You know what, Tesla at 450 is ridiculous. This is nutballs to me. It feels like the people are just chasing, right? Robo taxis are getting pulled in San Francisco. It's a big issue with Waymo. I will tell you that these EVs are getting smacked around a little bit. So Tesla at this cost. Now, obviously, SpaceX is a question mark, right? And there's a question mark, and I have to rely on you on this, and Howard. We're hearing that Elon Musk is moving Bitcoin around in his company a little bit for the IPO for SpaceX. Is that correct?
Yeah, they talk about it's most likely just a custody move, changing around where
Okay.
they are. A lot of those companies that were self custody have realized that they can put it in IBIT and counter risk it with BlackRock custodying their Bitcoin
Mm,
without selling it again. You can deposit Bitcoin in, get your IBIT, in redemption for that, and then at the end take your Bitcoin back out. So we
gotcha.
have seen a move. It's not necessarily my favorite move because self custody is one of the things to me you want to do with your crypto. But I get it. If you're SpaceX, you don't want to worry about someone trying to steal your keys and phishing and all the things that we've seen over the years. So not a bad move there. Steve, how about GE Verona up nicely here, 10% today? Have you been watching that at all?
I haven't. I'll tell you that I don't think the company's changed much, right? I mean, it's still GE Verona. So I don't
They just
know.
doubled their dividend today. So that's what's got them moving the most today.
Yes, correct.
Company said it's raising its share repurchase authorization to 10 billion from 6 billion. So a nice move there
Yeah.
by GE Verona. I mean, the GE breakup seems to have really worked well. Some of the companies, GE Aerospace,
Yes.
GE Healthcare has done well. Sometimes bigger is not better, I guess, Steve.
That's correct. I mean, when you look at the antitrust issues here with General Electric, General Electric was being mismanaged, I thought, and at the highest level. And they needed managers in each division, right? Health and
Not
air
a fan of
conditioners.
Neutron Jack? Destroyed the
No,
city next to me, Lynn, Massachusetts.
I'm not a big fan of
Left the
Neutron
buildings,
Jack.
took
Yeah.
everything, took the business with them.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
I
a big
guess,
fan of
Steve, we
Neutron
are
Jack.
going back to space again today. SATS, one of the big gainers here this morning, up 3.35%. And then the Trump trade seems to be back. I see USAR back up about 3.25% here
Yep.
this morning. I do see some of the Chinese names moving up today. And how about Marvell up 2.08% here? Were you impressed by their earnings the other day?
I was impressed by their earnings. It looks it's chips are very hard to get a hold of right now. There's tariffs and the China issue, and so you got to go wherever you got to go to get chips, right? So Marvell's been that place, right? So I am very impressed by that. They're not Nvidia, right? They're not that situation, but I'm very impressed by Marvell. So and I've always been a fan of Marvell back in the day, in the late, in the 90s and 2000s. But um, this is a different situation here. Marvell's changed and they have a new chipset. So I kind of do like Marvell for the first time in a long time.
Okay, there you go. Steve, looking at the sectors of the S&P here so far this morning, it's a mixed bag. We do see the energy, utilities, technologies in the green. Some in the red are, again, consumer staples. Looks like consumer discretionary, real estate, financial sector, and our favorite, the healthcare sector, all getting hit
Right.
here this morning.
It's profit taking. I think Friday, the end of the week here. Look, we're getting closer and closer to the end of the year here. So as we start to see that volume will start to dry up a bit, and some profit taking going into it could be some tax selling here going into the end of the year as well, for some people. And those will definitely hit the Mag 7. But like I said, we're gonna have Santa Claus rally, so I wouldn't be profit taking too much here because I think we're gonna run here.
Steve, one we didn't talk about that you hit a home run on. I don't think you played it though. UNG, how about that pump up to 17 the last couple of days? Now back down at 14.10. Are you ready to rinse and repeat? You've been calling for this cold winter.
Yeah, guess what? That's because I have AIs. We've been talking, you and I have been talking about natural gas since the summer. I said, look, we're going to have a very strong, very nasty winter. It could be one of the worst winters in history for us, actually. Um, and we did. That cold, that polar eclipse vortex dog coming out of
The
the
Alberta
north was
Clipper, baby. I've
what
learned
was
all about it now living in
crazy.
Ohio. The Alberta Clipper. That's what
And it was
brought snow to
cold.
me that hasn't gone away.
and it was cold, so natural gas exploded. But let me tell you, they don't call nat gas the widowmaker for no reason at all.
Yeah.
It'll make you the widowmaker. So don't touch natural gas.
Could you explain a little bit about that in contango and what that means for people so they understand? Because I do think
Yeah,
that's important.
Yeah. When you look at futures, right, there is a curve. So when you look at futures, you're looking at the spot month, which is the month that we're in December for nat gas, which we're starting to roll up now. But January, February, nat gas, and there's a curve, right? What's the price of now spot based on the curve of the January month, and that curve and contango is backwardation, and we have contango and backwardation. Contango means going forward that the price is higher, and backwardations means that the price is lower. So we're now in backwardation of nat gas starting now. So that tells you that nat gas is probably going to get cheaper over the next few months. But I don't know. I'd be careful here because there's still a weather issue here. We're in December, and January, February, March could still be cold, and you have an issue here with Russia. If Russia starts to back away from Ukraine, which they are, and they turn that spigot off for Europe, nat gas prices could really explode. So that's why I call it the widowmaker because you don't know which way it's going to go every single day. You better have those limit orders on if you're playing natty gas, as we call it.
Natty gas, I love it. Steve, you buying the dip on any of the things falling here today? We got AV down about 5% so far. Chinese trade PDD down about 2.77. I
Yeah.
see not too
Yeah.
much else. The Credo down about 2.14, Rigetti down 2.07. You know, are you one of those folks? We've been hearing a lot here while we've been in Vegas from the different experts talking about the quantum area,
Yeah.
and the lag time that's still there for us.
Yeah, we heard awesome from Oliver Rennick talking about quantum computing. We heard obviously from our boy Charlie Moon talking about quantum
Yeah.
computing, and they all say the same thing. We're still a decade away, right? I don't necessarily agree with that. I think the speed of quantum computing is coming a little bit faster than a decade. I think we'll be here in a couple of years, actually. I mean, I've had the personal tour of some of the big names, and yeah, I really think we're going to have some pretty cool things. Wow, look at the number of people coming into the room here. 3,000, 3,500
Whoa,
there, Howard.
love it.
4,000 now. Yeah.
Do us a favor, everybody. Hit the like, share, and follow button. Help us reach more retail traders here. Steve, you going to be buying?
7,000 people now in our room now. So I'm really excited. 7,500 now coming into the room here.
That's
7,800.
amazing. Amazing.
8,000 people now coming in the room now. Yes,
Love
we
it.
thank you guys.
We are here in Las Vegas at the Prosper Traders Experience. Been a great event. Steve, anything surprise you in talking to these 50, 60 traders that are here over this 3 to 4 days?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you, I'll tell you exactly what I'm excited about. I am excited about hearing you talk about cryptocurrency today before my speech today. Hey, 11,000 people now in our room. I just want to say thank you so much for being here. We're gonna have Scott Bauer here in a little bit here, talking to us about what's going on here at Prosper Trading as well. We're excited about that. But look, it's all about the Fed today. Let's get real about it. It's all about the Fed, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't care what Powell says. I care about after what he's going to say after the question mark comes around. Tell me about that. What is he going to say about the future? 12,000 people now watching us live here on Prosper Trading Day. I'm going to call it Prosper Trading Day here.
I love it.
Here on Quasar Markets Live. Thank you very much.
Steve, I got to say, I'm surprised. This is the first time I think the 10-year has been flat on FOMC Day for as long as I've been watching this, for maybe since before COVID. That's very unusual, right?
Look, we have been watching the CME Fed tool for a while, right? And I think the Fed tool has been so wrong on so many points. If you look back a few weeks ago, there was a 50% chance that the Fed was going to cut today, right? They were wrong. And I don't even use that CME. I use the CME Fed tool like religiously, the last 30 years. But right now, so many people are into it now. They don't really understand the Fed tool, and they're using it as a prop now. And they've been wrong, unfortunately. So look, as my friend JC Peretz always says, look, I don't even know what I'm going to have for breakfast today, how the hell am I going to know what the Fed's going to even say today, right? Are they together? So when I look at the Fed as general, we know there's going to be this disruption in between them, right? This person voted for it, this person didn't vote for it, all of that. So for me, I have to know what the future is going to say, and I think it's going to be very pointed questions. I think you're going to see it from Bloomberg. I think you're going to see it from CNBC, from Steve Leisman, and possibly Reuters is going to ask some very pointed questions too. So I would be very, that's what's going to cause some volatility this afternoon.
I don't know though. My man Jerome is the great magician. He's pretty good at deflecting off of there.
Purple tie, right hand with a
Yeah,
suit briefcase.
yeah.
Yeah, of
Well,
course.
and he'll always come back and say that's not, that isn't the focus. That isn't what we look at. He's good at deflecting those things. So it is going to be about what he says, not how he says it. I think more than what he says.
Right.
And that's what people will be trying to digest all day here. We are about 7 minutes from the open. Advanced decline pretty flat, 200. So again, this is just a hurry up and wait type of day, Steve, isn't it? I see Bitcoin stalled out at 92. It's just sitting there. I don't really see much moving around today.
No, it's not. And look, it's all about Fed. We're gonna wait this afternoon and see what they have to say. We already know that. So, wow, 15,000 people here now watching us here live, Howard. Pretty impressive here today. Yeah.
And again, if you guys would hit the follow button, like button, and share button, it really helps us reach more traders, bringing Steve's knowledge to the market. We love it. Steve, what else are you looking at on open here today so far?
Yeah. Well, look, it's tech, right? I mean, tech's going to be affected by this rate cut. Housing market's going to be affected by. Jobs are going to be affected by the rate cut. So let's see how that plays out as the investment. 15,000 now watching us here live. Just want to say thank you for everybody out there. This is a big deal. We might hit an all-time high pretty soon here, but very excited about what's going on here. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Steve. I thought one of the things that I was so impressed with here is from the traders that are at this experience. They've had some really great questions. And one that I want to bring to you yesterday that I know the panel answered, but I didn't hear it from you. Are you concerned with the AI names taking all the bond money? Is it going to be harder for these legacy industries, for some of the things, the laggards, the consumer durables, the consumer staples, the retail? Is it going to be hard for them to raise money in the future?
Not at all. And I think that was a great question. That Charlie Moon answered. And I thought that Charlie had a great answer to this. No, we're going to be spending even more money. I think we're just in the first inning of this, maybe the first pitch of AI. And when you look at AI in general, we're not going to call it AI in the future. It'll just be part of our lives, right? And I think that's what you're seeing with Meta. You're seeing it with Google, Amazon. You're seeing it with these companies. And I'm always asked, what companies are going to do well in AI? It's the companies that have data. It's the company that understands us and wants to understand us, and they need to attach AI to all sides of it so that they understand how to market to us, how to sell to us, and that's going to happen. So no, I think the billions that are being spent here, I think you're going to see the bond market. It's finally healing on the business side, credit markets. But no, I think people are going to be happy to spend that kind of money. Think about if you'd spent that kind of money with Amazon back in the day, right after the dot-com bubble, you'd be making billions, right? They did. Amazon got their money that they needed to grow. And the money that they borrowed today is not even close to the money that they've spent, not even close to the money that they've made. So no, I think that's going to be, it's a path to least resistance right now to getting more money in the bond market for credits for these corporations. And I honestly think the ones that go dip in that pool will be the ones who do very well in the future too, as well.
Absolutely.
And look how cheap it is. It's cheap because the rate's down. The money's cheap right now. So why not borrow money now instead of borrow money in the future?
And my question would be, is the structural shift to so much private credit, is that going to change that game too? Because that's, to me, where the difference is the democratization of investing, where now retail traders are able to get access into some of this, private, bond markets.
As you know, my thumbs up, beat the table, absolutely awesome stuff. I think it's about time we allow retail, we allow average traders now to be able to access the credit market. I've said that for years, that is unfair to major companies to be able to do that because that's an easy money for them, right? At a higher rate, right? When you're buying bonds.
I'm personally an MSTR's, preferred stock, which is basically a convertible bond. You're getting 10% dividend. They changed the dividend to keep it around, the price around $100 for your share equity. On that, some of these things are more easy money, and ways that are not native to a lot of investors, right? We're seeing this really move to where the institutional investor type stuff is now being done by retail. As
That's
we've been at
absolutely
this
right.
traders
Yeah.
experience, we've seen all of it. These guys are very sophisticated. They're ready to deploy decent amounts of capital, and they're looking to do it in the way that institutions used to do it. Like you just talked about, AI is going to be and to me, it's very similar to blockchain. It's going to be there. You're not going to know you're using it. You don't, when
Right.
people send money using remittances on SoFi, they don't realize right now that's the Bitcoin Lightning Network they're using.
That's right.
So, it's going to happen underneath the surface, behind the screen. The Wizard of Oz is playing at the Sphere here right outside my window.
I'm going to see Wizard of Oz. I'm excited about it, right?
I thought about it. I just don't have enough time before I leave. I wanted to go. That's the one disappointment I'm going to have from this trip, is I didn't have time to go see that.
Come on, Howard. We'll find time
concert.
to go.
I know you've hit some of the shows there, and it looks just.
I saw the rodeo. Okay, let's talk about Vegas, right? Vegas is a good example of how people feel, right? And I'm gonna tell you the strip is down right now. What's doing well right now is events. We saw the rodeo was in town, the World Poker Tour, which I got the hat. That's doing very well here. But what's not doing very well here is international travel to Vegas. You're not seeing that this
very
year.
little foreign travelers. I'd also point out the K-shaped economy is definitely very prevalent.
Very much prominent. Yes, very prominent.
If you're here at the Wynn, it's $100 a hand to get an ice cream. Never mind anything else. But
it's
yeah,
Vegas,
and you see it, and I've noticed it as I walked around a little bit throughout the city, and you're seeing the places that are less expensive are busy, the places that are really expensive are busy. That mid-tier a little bit down right now, right?
Yes, of course. Yes, that's exactly right. Yes.
Yeah, so that's what I've seen so far. We are getting ready to get open here. I'm sorry we can't share charts with you today. We're all working off of one screen, not our normal 25 screens for Steve or my 4. So a little bit there, but we'll keep you up to date on what's about to hit so far. Tick is still very muted. Advanced decline is positive, but slightly positive at 194. As we get ready to open here, SPY is down, Q is up, and the Dow is pretty flat on the day. VIX not really giving me much direction either here, Steve, at 1740.
Howard, as you say that, I'm looking at, here's the market's opening now here. I'm liking this move here on Royal Caribbean, though.
Okay, grab that a second.
I'm going to go right into,
Nice move to the upside there. Yeah, off the open. Boom. There you go. Nice move to the upside.
RCL has been, I think, beaten up a little too much here. Oh, yeah, now up 1.3%. So.
Oh, there goes the Musk. I told you that one was coming. You could see it today, Steve.
Yeah, and are you, is it selling off here now?
Yeah, 444.59 straight down since the cash opened from 447.
Yeah. And I'm actually going to short. Wait. I'm looking at Tesla to short actually myself. I think a little more myself.
I figured that's one you would be looking at today. Tick is pretty flat still. Advanced decline almost hasn't moved on the open. You almost never see that. It's down 390. So we are very, very neutral here going into the FOMC day. Bitcoin did lose the 92 handle back at 91,877. It's in the middle of its range right now, so it's sort of a no-go for me either way right now.
Right. And I'm
pulling up 4,200.
Tesla now green here a little bit, huh?
Yeah, after that first move to the downside, it has bounced pretty nicely. Steve, are you buying any of these banks that got hit pretty hard yesterday? JP Morgan back at 300 here. Was 322
I'm definitely not.
A few days ago. Okay.
I'm definitely not. I am now short Tesla here, 450 now. 450. I'll look at the exact number here for you'll get you that answer here. But I am now short Tesla here. I'm short here now at 445.29 here. So I will be keeping my eye on Tesla 445.29. So
Definitely seeing some profit taken here. UNH
yeah.
getting hit pretty hard. Coinbase getting hit pretty hard. Nvidia holding up. Meta getting hit pretty hard again. So we are seeing some of the early morning flyers taking a little bit of profit here. Not surprising, but very early into the trading day. So
And Netflix is flat. I mean, I think that the Netflix trade is, if you're shorting Netflix now, you're too late to the game right now.
you
Almost
missed it, right?
17,000 people watching us today here. I love this, Howard.
Wow, GE Verona shot up on the open here, Steve. Now up 12.75%.
Silver pulling back a little bit, 60, 63 now. So seeing that. Bitcoin back above 92,000 here. Are we going
Yeah, there
93,000
you
pretty
go.
quickly here?
Marvell
Yeah.
taking off here, up 3.28% now. So we do see some runners here.
Yep. And I'm going to say short my Tesla here. I think Tesla slips a bit going as some profit taken, but going into the end of the week here as well.
So
Disney, how about Disney back to 107 already here now?
I didn't even notice that one. There you go.
Keep my eye here, but the VIX only up 0.4, the VXX up 0.45%. That's not telling me that there's a lot of volatility out there. Warner Brothers now, Warner Brothers WBD now almost 3% here.
Well, if it's going to be a bidding war, right? They'd be the winners.
I might be wrong here on Tesla, but I don't think so. I think I'm okay with Tesla here. I think we're going to see a little bit of slippage here.
Well, so we have some different names in the movers today. You normally see.
Steve Flanagan, there it is. There it is. Steve Flanagan coming in saying, good morning, all. Let's go, Fed. Get on with the cutting. Absolutely, Steve. Oh, Tesla is pushing up here a little bit.
And I'll tell you one people that didn't trust there. I mentioned USAR, US Rare Earth was up nicely, was the second highest pre-market gainer, now down 3.48%.
I think I'm going to go again here on Tesla as I might have to short a little bit more here. I think I'm going to short a little bit more.
Steve, we weren't here, or I wasn't here the last couple of days. Did you discuss Berkshire Hathaway and some of the defections they're having? Are you surprised by that? Or is this just expected because these are the folks that didn't get the job Greg Abel did?
You know, being a person that has been a fan of Warren Buffett for many, many years, the team also had a lot of fans, right? That was there because they believed in them. Look, Greg Abel needs to have the team that he wants around him. I don't know if it's just defections. I think it's more like getting his own team that he wants at Berkshire Hathaway.
That's how I read it.
Yeah, Warren put his faith into Greg and Anka Jane, and that's who he picked. So there's a reason why. Warren Buffett's a smart dude. Charlie Munger was a very smart dude. So I trust them what they're doing. But look, there's going to be turnover. There's going to be all those fun things that's going to happen over the next few weeks. So no, I'm not too worried about it.
Do you see most of the crypto names getting hit pretty hard today? MSTR now down 1.25%, Coinbase down 1.5%, Galaxy Digital, which was up double digits, now down 3.46% here today. So we are seeing some sell-off there for sure.
Deep Langan talking about Bank of Canada coming in. They'll be expected to hold the rates 2.25%. That's about right. Those are some low rates, by the way. So I wonder if they're going to be asked, if Fed's going to be asked today, Powell's going to be asked about other countries, right? Hey, you know what? Every other country around the world's lower. Why aren't we?
That's a good one, but I don't. They've never asked that I've seen. They don't ever. That's a great one. I've never seen them ask anything about in comparison to foreign rates in there. I wonder if it's
not yet
taboo.
Tesla 446.84. So
we're technology now getting hit.
Yeah. Boeing is under the 200 handle here again now. So I do like that. 17,000 follower right now. People watching us, Howard. I think that is now the high. So we've now hit the most ever watching Quasar Markets Live here this morning.
Love it. I love it. Thank you, everybody. If you hit the like, share, follow button, it does help us reach more traders. So we appreciate that little help you can give us here. Steve Mag 7 is seeing Amazon and Tesla hold up. Everything else moving to the downside, although Google just did go flat on the day. Microsoft taking it pretty hard here today, down over 2%.
Yep.
Interested in buying the dip on Microsoft if it gets down to that 200-day MA towards that 470 mark?
I think so, yes. I mean, it is a tech situation there as well. It is with the Mag 7, all the things that you're talking about, right? Obviously, to me, Microsoft is a quality company doing quality things. But you know, I just there's something about Microsoft I just can't pull the trigger on. But I do like this. I do like the company. I do like the management there as well. And they got a lot of products to sell, and so Microsoft does
We'll
very
say
well.
their subscriptions are very sticky, very sticky.
Yes, too sticky for me. I don't use Microsoft Word yet.
Once you're in, you're sort of you're there forever, so to speak.
That is
I do
correct.
see
Yes.
banks are all going positive here. So after that first sell-off on the banks, most of them are going positive here.
Yeah.
So that's the first change I'm seeing in the market so far. Same thing. Chips trying to bounce back here a little bit. TSM's gone positive. Qualcomm's gone positive. AMAT, Micron, Marvell, and a few others.
I'm looking at my CRISPR here. CRISPR down 3% here, so we're getting down to my numbers again to be buying it back. I called that as my thesis in the future. As you know, we've been trading it, so I'm liking CRISPR again. CRSP here, getting closer to my buy place again. So we've crushed that a couple of times already. 446 now on Tesla. I expect Tesla to get down to 445s here pretty quickly, and it actually may go red here today. I think Tesla will go red today. Netflix down 70 cents here. Royal Caribbean is still green here. Disney's still in the 107, and Apple's still positive here. But look, it's one of those days where you gotta be careful. Palantir at 186 again. How about that? Up almost
Nice little
3%.
move to the upside. Yeah, it's quietly been making a comeback for sure.
So you know my guilty pleasure SSYS Stratasys is moving up again, up another 0.33% here. So 921. I'm starting to create a thesis here around Stratasys. So keep your eyes out there. There's something brewing on this stock.
Okay.
SSYS there.
GE Verona now up 15.5% here, continuing to move to the upside. So we really have a run in there.
Tesla now 446.50 now. 446.35 now. It's just slipping. There we go. See? All right. Let's go. And I did fade the Musk there, my man. Yes.
I love it. I love it.
446.13. Let's go. 446.05. 445. There it is, Howard. Let's go, baby.
Nice. Netflix down another percent here. Meta's been getting hit pretty hard here, back at 649. Steve, is it a buy under 650?
Maybe. Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good number there for them. I do like that. Yeah. Yep. Netflix is slipping here down 1.1%. But you would think with all this nonsense around what Netflix that it'd be down way down. I think we're finding that capitulation's happening in Netflix.
I think there is for sure. Yeah, I think people are definitely. I think they might be more confused than capitulating at this point.
445.60 now on Tesla. How about that? Get down underneath. There we go. We're definitely in the money now. So congratulations to those of you who've been following me about shorting the Musk. Now I know you don't like to fade the Musk, but I think these numbers are too much up here.
Yeah, well, I was the one that brought it up. I don't mind fading the Musk. I just love that line. Don't fade the Musk.
Don't fade the Musk. Okay, I got you. 446.34. A little bit of a pop back.
There we go. Bitcoin trying to regain 92 here. So trying to get a little bit of strength going. Tick is still fairly muted. Advanced declines move slightly down. So the breadth of market to the downside moved to about 500. We see the Dow Jones down about 2 basis points. The S&P down 9. Q's down about 28. So pretty flat on the day. The Russell 2000 is down about 15 basis points. We do see VIX climbing up a little bit today, but nothing into the stratosphere that we've seen.
Right.
Gold unable to hold 4,200 here. And we do see silver back under 61. So we are seeing a little bit of profit taken here leading into Mr. Powell's speech today.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we'll continue to see that all day today, to be honest with you. But I think you'll see volatility after Powell's speech. So, and I don't think he's going to say, well, I think he's going to say it's meeting to meeting basis, right? We're going to meet every time and we're going to talk about rates. And that's makes the markets nervous. The market doesn't want uncertainty. They want clarity. We talk about it all the time. And you know what? Let's talk about clarity. Let's get Steve Flanagan here. Steve, if you're out there, come on, let's go on the show, man. Let's get going. Let's talk about the dollar here. Let's talk about all those geopolitical issues going on. I think that we got quite a few people here watching us today really are being asked about what's going on around the world. I mean, you got Taiwan, you've got Japan, Russia, Ukraine. I mean, you can't go anywhere without checking a stick and seeing some geopolitical issue somewhere.
Yep, absolutely. That is the case. DXY at 99.10 here, so it's really moved back down, back below its 50-day MA. We'll have to ask Mr. Flanagan if that's a warning sign or just a temporary blip, although I think I know his answer already.
92,000 there on Bitcoin. You called it, Howard. You were right. You said that dip down there. I like that. Very good. Ethereum is popping the green here a little bit here for this early morning session here.
Ethereum's had more strength than Bitcoin the last week or so. I have to say it's done a very nice job of holding up above that 3,000 level and regained 32 pretty quickly.
Yep.
Steve, oil still down 57.76. Are the local wildcatters ever going to make money again?
Not for a while, it's unfortunately, right? But look, oil at $60 is the sweet spot. $62.50, pretty much sweet spot for oil. We're not seeing that right now. But so what you're going to see is the sands area up in North Dakota, those areas that when you gotta frack it, that those are the ones that are going to hurt the most. When there's oil already in the ground, it's already pumping. That's the easy ones, right? What happens is when you have oil this low, they're not drilling. Right, there's a glut of oil out there. So, and if we do allow Russia to sell some more oil, which they are selling, and they're selling it very cheaply, that much oil on the markets is also another issue. So, when I look at it, I don't think we're really seeing much here right now. So, oil is not going to move to the upside here anytime soon.
Okay. You know what I haven't looked at lately, Steve? What is MTN doing these days?
Well, let's see it.
Because you mentioned the fact about all the snow. We've seen it on the East Coast. Colorado's been a little weak. Yeah, it's made a nice little comeback here. 144.93. MTN has their.
I don't ski, Howard, but so many people do. Our friend Scott Bauer skis, and we understand that, and skiing is a big deal. The question to me that I have to ask is are those season passes being sold out? And I think the answer is yes.
Yes, because it's the top of the K. Skiers are the top of the K, not the bottom.
You got it. That's right. And the K economy is working in full gear. Costs in Aspen are very high right now. So, yes, I think the K economy is working in diligently right now. So, I think Mountain is still a good one here.
They did announce that they are cutting lift prices to try to bring skiers back to the slopes. That is important. Most of my friends that I know that do big trips, they've all been going to Europe the last couple of years because of
cheap to go to Europe. Prices. Yeah, cheap to go to Europe. It's cheap to go to Europe right now.
It really is. It's, a skier available who plans ahead can pay $229. That's what they're getting it down to from $299 a day. I used to ski for $25 a day growing up. I can't even imagine that. If you don't have,
I ski for nothing. I go drinking when I go skiing. I have,
you just pay for the
I got a hot toddy and I'm good. You guys just go break your legs. Listen, for those of you who don't know, I skied a lot back in the day, and I broke both of my ankles one year. And I was like, I'm done with skiing. That's it for me. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not that dumb anymore. So, you guys go have fun, break your legs. Yeah, great.
Advanced decline is come back down towards 255, so fairly neutral here. We're really not seeing much go on. No. Dow Jones down about 20 basis points. S&P flat on the day. Qs are fairly flat, down about 16 basis points. And the RUT has gone flat on the day also. So we are seeing a little bit of strength come back in.
I'm keeping my eye very tight here on Tesla here. Another run to the downside here. So let's see if we can break the 445 handle here. If we do that, then we could see a real slippage here.
NVIDIA still below 185 here. So every time it makes a run above that, it seems to be the spot that the sell-off comes back to here is right around that 185 area.
Yeah. 445.70 now, 445.80 now. We're still slipping here. We could see maybe get back up 446. Yeah, just come back above 446. I'm still keeping my eye there on Tesla, but it's very weak here, I think, up here.
Steve, one I got to put on your radar that we like, both of us. Mealy down about 5% here today has gotten hit pretty hard, starting to get back down to an area where it gets into.
Well, that K economy is not just in the United States; it's everywhere, right? So, for those of you who don't know, Meli, Mercado Libre is the Amazon of LATAM, and they're not doing so well down there, right? So, I think tariffs have hit them a little bit down there. So, yeah. All right, let's do it. Steve Flanagan's ready to go. We're here live in Las Vegas, and we got to bring in Steve Flanagan live from the great state of Florida. Steve Flanagan, my friend, 43 years of trading forex in JP Morgan. See, we have 17,500 people here to see you, wanting to know what the hell is going on. Talk to us about this new thesis you have. You've been building called quantum convergence. Explain quantum convergence to everybody.
Well, in a nutshell, Steve, basically what it is we're coming out of this chaos, and what we're beginning to see is, and let's just reference the United States and China as an example. Look at all of a sudden this agreement. Now we're going to sell them chips. The United States, of course, is going to get a little premium out of it. But the fact is, China is moving closer. United States and China are seeing the benefits to cooperating economically for the future, because we cannot keep going down this path of us against them, because technology, and this is what underlies quantum convergence, is technology has no borders.
Right.
It goes throughout the world.
Yep.
Let's just use the system that Musk is putting up in the sky. There'll be satellites everywhere. There'll be internet everywhere in the world.
Okay, but let me ask you this question. To do that, we need energy. To do that, we're going to need data centers. Do you think we're going to be putting data centers on the moon?
Now, there's a good one. I do think that at some point, now it's a curveball to me, at some point there will be some sort of colonization or some sort of setup. They'll bring 3D printers up with them, and they'll print themselves some sort of space station on the moon. Yeah, I could see that. If there's a benefit to that low gravity of a data center, yeah, maybe that happens too. But it's a global thing. When we have internet everywhere in the world, how many Einsteins are suddenly going to be discovered? What is the benefit to everybody having access to this new technology, to AI, to all these, the bots that are out there? It's an incredible period.
That's a very good point, Steve. I had a great conversation yesterday with David Meltzer. You know him better as Jerry Maguire. I had a long conversation with him last night. He's got a great charity called Unstoppable, which tries to help people in Kenya, women in Kenya, get access to water and food and communities. And think about it from the perspective of them getting internet and them getting access to there's going to be Africa's a great, huge continent that could be, we haven't even tapped into that. China's tapping into that now, but the world's got a lot of third world area that we could be tapping in as the next, but the United States has an immigration issue. So there's a big issue here, Steve, right? Or not?
There is big issues everywhere. And the United States, as the leader of this, is putting the house in order first.
Okay.
And that's where it starts. Is
that what you mean by quantum convergence? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
You're talking about the whole. Okay, yeah.
Yes, and in that pecking order, it's the U.S., it's Asia, it's Europe, and then, of course, the greatest benefit, as this is now in progress, is Africa. It's, as you say, untapped. So, this is going to be a very interesting period. However, we're still not seeing our central bankers grab hold to the idea. Understand, interest rates throughout the world are lower. Europe now is coming out, Christine Lagarde today, basically saying, hey, we're in a good spot and we don't really need to lower rates. They're at 2%. No central banker wants to lower beyond 2%. Why?
Right.
Because
True.
it means we're back to the 2008 regime. And that means that, the central banks are caught between a rock and a hard place. It's time for the governments to do fiscal spending. Okay, we have Japan, Europe, led by the United States over the last 6 months. Do your defense spending and get your NATO budgets up.
Real quickly, guys. I'm going to cover my Tesla short here. Well done if you're paying attention to me on Tesla. I have now covered my Tesla short. So once again, another win today. If you're following us here on Quasar Markets Live, we've hit another one. We hit RCL yesterday live in front of you. We've hit Tesla live in front of you. So we're still doing it. All right, sorry about that, Steve. Just want to make sure everyone understands what I'm doing.
Picking and jabbing, Steve. Love it. I had a question for Howard. I'm glad to see him back. That that I brought from Monday. Actually, I was looking at it on Friday. Is in this world of stable coins, that we see more and more, United States leading, that's another part of quantum convergence, right? Because it's going to eventually allow currencies to be immediately settled, just like in the crypto space. But in crypto specifically, is it Bitcoin or is it Ethereum right now? I'm kind of leaning now that I've sold off most of my Bitcoin and I'm looking at Ethereum.
Boo. Oh, okay.
Okay, well, there's the answer there is it's two phase there. Bitcoin is a monetary device, and it's the only crypto that's a monetary device. Everything else is a tech company. And by buying Ethereum, if I could have come to you in 1990 and said, I have a coin called the World Wide Web, would you like some? Would you have bought it?
Okay.
Or would you like to have bought it?
Okay. Is that a scenario then? I mean, had I gone long?
Yeah. Ethereum is going to be the guide rails for the infrastructure that markets trade on. So Ethereum is the security layer that's going to secure our financial markets across the globe. So I can't argue with you having a piece of that. But as you know, in times of bad news, people go to hedges, and that's where Bitcoin comes in. So a little different. One to me is really a tech stock, and one is meant to be a monetary device.
Okay, I mean, I still hold Bitcoin, just for the record.
No, absolutely, it should. Yeah, I can't argue with that change. I mean, again, Ethereum is holding up better, as I said lately, and it's done a pretty good job.
Yeah, I just thought with this sell-off, this would be good. So, yeah, that was my question.
Hey, guys, real quickly, I just talked to Scott Bauer personally. I just saw him. He's putting a signal out in Prosper Trading Room to buy ASTS. So this is part of the Prosper Trading. You get signals, and Scott Bauer just screamed it out, ASTS. So for those of you listening, he's putting out a signal in his rooms. You can go into his rooms, talk to him personally. You can see Howard Greenberg talk about crypto. Prosper Trading, a great partnership with us. Listen, ASTS, just put it out. Is it out? Is it out? It's not out yet. It's going to be a bullish call spread. Bullish call spread. Y'all hearing that now? So there it is, folks.
I love it.
Woo! That's great.
Get out there. ProsperTrading.com. Go sign up. Go hang out with those boys. They're pretty good.
I'd say a little bit better than pretty.
Love it.
But let me get back into FX chat here, because 99.09 is the dollar index. Expect this day to be a quiet back and forth day. Is it the Fed going to be a dovish cut, or is it going to be a hawkish cut? No cut would be extremely disruptive to the markets today.
Oh, come on, Steve. That's not going to happen. They're going to cut today.
I agree. They're going to cut today, but they're going to do their best to backtrack on it and start talking about inflation. There is no inflation. Get over it. It was a 9% jump, and then it's flatlined. And if you look at it in its flatlining, it's coming down. Things take time to pass through. Look around the world. China announced their CPI minus 0.1, yet
Right.
again, another negative number. You know, they're in the grips of deflation, which means quantitative easing, which means lowering interest rates from 3%. And then you've got their PPI came in at minus 2.2% after last month's minus 2.1. So
Yes.
there is no inflation. It's just, you know, if we keep chasing these ghosts, which is what our Fed.
Yeah, but we still have the K economy, Steve. You can't say that to people who aren't part of this new economy, though, right?
Okay, let's talk about K economy. Why do we have a K economy? Because the Fed is focusing at a 1960 unemployment number, and they're saying growth, labor markets are strong. In your K economy, no, they're not. In fact, at our U6 unemployment rate is 8%.
Yeah.
And the way they count the number as 4.4%, they say.
But I expect him today. Here's when people ask me what word do you expect Powell to talk about, I expect we're talking about AI and jobs. I expect him to say there's a job issue with AI.
Okay. That would be
because right now we saw a new poll saying 14% of Americans can lose their job, that AI can replace their job right now. And you know Powell's going to say that, right? He's going to talk about that. And he's going to talk about inflation and the Nikkei economy. So he's going to say, well, I don't know what to do. So that's the thing. I've never seen the Fed going, I don't know. That's what's happening right now, right, Steve?
That's right. That's exactly what's happening because their antiquated models are not focusing on the real economy, the quantum convergence that's going on today, as everything is beginning to come together with around technology. They are missing the boat. Now, here's what they are. They're also now getting, we know the president's giving them a heck of a, you know, if you heard yesterday's comments, giving them a lot of pressure. But this
is a guy who said the economy is A plus 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 plus.
Right. And
bullshit.
But the other side of the aisle is also talking about the weakening economy. Right. So now if the Fed stands into their typically hawkish, you know, we don't want to cut because inflation. If they say they're going to get criticism from both sides of the aisle now. So here's what I think. They're going to cut rates and they're going to basically, Steve, maybe it's AI. Maybe they'll have a little bit of a reconciliation about, you know, the labor market isn't as strong as our.
But Steve, the question is not about cutting rates today. It's about cutting rates in the future. So are they going to cut rates in the future?
I would expect 2 more cuts next year. And
there it is.
That may be taken as a hawkish cut today because everybody's like, well, only 2 more. That puts us what, at 3.5?
Right.
3.2? And I don't think rates go much lower than that. I think rates hold at low 3% level, and that's that. So, you know, this is going to be. I will say one thing, though. You know, I wanted to have something I offer out to the viewers today, and in the way my mind is thinking in the bigger picture, the macro view. I look at the Fed balance sheet as being frozen now. More interesting will be how much is the Fed going to, okay, let's call it what they call it, reinvestment. Remember, roughly 1 trillion we freeze. But as things mature, we've got to go back in and buy treasuries, quantitative ease. We've got to buy treasuries and bring it back up to 6.1 trillion because that's where we're freezing it.
Right.
Now,
so what's the chances of that happening?
Well, they have to. They've already announced that.
Announced it, yeah.
Now,
what's the chance of that happening? They can announce whatever they want. I mean, they can say whatever the heck they want. What are the chances of it actually happening?
And I think today you'll hear about $15 to $25 billion in agency debt will be bought back into T-bills. Now, if they're buying T-bills every month in the scope of 15 to 25, overall, we expect somewhere between 25 billion and 40 billion every month to be bought back buying T-bills. When they buy T-bills, rates come down.
That's right.
Well, who's the other big buyer of T-bills? Howard, right into your field.
Stable coins. Yep, stable
Yep.
coins.
So think
Big
about
buyer.
pressure over the next 6 to 8 months. In the short term, you're going to get a yield curve that's properly reflected, higher rates when you go out long, but lower rates in the short term
Short.
where all of the borrowing is done. It's a huge stimulus to this economy. Goes in part to another piece of the puzzle that will be laying out. So when everybody here is focused on what's the Fed going to say, what are they going to do, what are earnings, you got to pick your head up, look outside of the forest and see the horizon and know that the next 6 months, oil down at this price, huge stimulus. T-bills all being bought, huge stimulus.
Okay, so see, that's great, but the reason you're here is for forex. So talk to us. How does it affect the currency market?
There we go, Steve. So now the curveball, and here's my point: what is a hidden carry trade to the marketplace?
Okay, explain the hidden carry trade to people before you go into that, because I think let's educate people.
So you borrow a low interest rate currency, Swiss or yen, at 0.5% yen, at 0% Swiss, borrow it, sell it, and then buy a currency that has upside potential. Certainly the equity market in the US in this type of scenario has tremendous upside in 2026. But bigger, the carry trade that people love to do is just a plain interest rate. I borrow a 0% currency. If I know that short-term interest rates are going to have a hidden stimulus of buying from the Fed and from stable coins, Tether, then interest rates in the US in the short are going to go down. So why not buy into the US Treasury market and I'll get an appreciation and a surge in the asset. So a hidden carry trade suddenly pops up. And I think this could be very interesting. What does it mean for the dollar? Well,
but Christine Lagarde is a kind of the sticking point here, right?
Yes.
When you okay.
Christine Lagarde is an old guard. She is, and I don't mean that. I meant old guard in the sense of that she is, from
she's old.
past.
It's okay. You can say it. It's all right. She can say it. We're all old here. It's okay.
She was the former Bank of France governor. She was then the IMF head. Now she's got the ECB. Guess what? Her little Goldilocks career is done. They're missing the boat. Come on, Germany, minus 0.5% GDP. They need lower rates. They need more stimulus. She's saying governments need to spend more money, but there's such a thing, that the governments over there cannot, because they are mandated that they must keep their GDP to debt ratios under certain amounts, 2%. Hello, France, are you listening? You're at 4.5%.
Right.
But, there's all this pressure in Europe. They need to lower rates as well, because the only way out of debt is to grow the economy, because nobody can make the cuts. Look, France is trying to make budget cuts. They're ready to throw the government out a 7th time. Germany's just squeaked by their budget proposal in a coalition government. So nobody, and the U.S., we know from the days of Musk in the government, he came out and the first thing he said was, wow, that was a lot harder to get spending cuts through this government. So the best way to do it, and this is where I think they all need to come to common ground, is to grow the economies out of debt. Look at the U.S. is doing it. We're roughly in excess of 3% growth, and debt to GDP is declining. Simple. So the UK economy, give it time. It will
give it time. Oh, I like that. Give it time. Give it time. I like that.
You have to
all right. Well, listen, 18,000 people watching us today. Wow. That's a new number for us. Well done, everybody. Yep. Go ahead, Steve Flanagan. What do you got?
One more point just to bring in the dollar.
Yep.
In this hidden carry trade, if you look, the Dixie right now is 99.09. Very strong support at 98.80, and the super level is 98.20. Anywhere between 98.20, 98.80, I'm a buyer of the dollar.
Okay.
Why?
I was going to
Because-
ask if you were going to do that down towards the 50-day MA there.
Yep. And why? Because if this, in fact, ends up happening, let's just go back to when Europe Lagarde finally decided to cut rates from 4% down to 2%, the euro appreciated. Now, if the U.S. is suddenly into a lower rate environment, the opposite is happening. When you cut rates, your currency strengthens. So watch out. The market is excessively short dollars yet again. And I'm looking at this. If we get much above, and hold above last week's close, still 2 days, 2.5 to go, 98.99 in the Dixie. If we get above that and stay above it, watch out for a dollar move here gradually, initially back up to the 100.30 level, which was our recent highs.
Absolutely.
All right, Steve Flanagan, 18,000 are live watching us right now. 33,000 people today have tuned in today. We are very appreciative of Quasar Markets Live and our great partner here at Prosper Trading, the live show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, with our great friends Scott Bauer and the team Charlie Moon, and you name it, they're here. So we'll say that. Thank you very much for sharing.
That ASTS Scott was telling you is up $2 already. That's that call he made.
Boom! Look at that, Scott Bauer calling. Hey, look, you nailed it right there. So that's the point. Sign up at prospertrading.com. We love them over there. So for those of us at Quasar Markets Live, thank you so much. We've hit an all-time high again, and growth is good. So thank you all. We'll see you right back here. Howard, take us out, man.
Absolutely. For Quasar Markets, thank you guys for tuning in today. Steve will be taking the show tomorrow. I am flying back to Ohio, in the morning. So everybody have a great day and be ready for Mr. Powell here.